Hello, hello. I can hear nothing. Whoops. My headphones are not selected properly. Okay. Moment of truth. Okay, cool. It actually remembered my volume this time too. Very nice. For it resets every now and again, and I cannot figure out why. Anyway, we did. Let's see. On Tuesday, we did the. Oh right, Tuesday was the terrible time Tuesday because I had to reschedule my meme run Monday. Don't remember why. Oh, I had an appointment. Right. So that means we're doing burner stuff today. We got modules done last time, I think. They look somewhat done. They're not working right now, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. I think we just didn't hook up all the infinity chests. But I think our goal is 14 of each, so that's 14, and then the rest speed modules, because those go into RCUs, and then they will... See, this is the thing I'm not sure about. This... Is this enough for RCUs? Oh, yeah. Okay, we need 40 for RCUs, and the other 14 will go into Assembler 2, Assembler 3s, I think is my goal. How much does that produce? I guess that would be a good question to be asking. Okay, so we're producing 0.7 per second. So we can... Why are we producing so many? Oh, because we need 4. We need 4 per assembling machine, right. Ooh, that's... Is that lower or higher than I thought I needed? That's 630 assembling machines per hour. That doesn't sound like a ton, but that's just for assembler 2s. Which I think that's actually fine. Because we used to need a lot more assembler 3s, but then we replaced most of them with assembler 2s, so I think that drastically decreases our module requirement. I need to go look at the Outpost real quick, because I'm not actually sure what the exact number is, but I'm pretty sure it's fairly small. Let's see, which one would have... This one, I think. Efficiency module, the Outpost. Efficiency, I don't know, I was struggling to pronounce that the other day. Looks like I still am. Okay, yeah, everything's gotta be broken, that makes sense. Okay, so 150, this is half an Outpost, so it's actually these two combined. Okay. So 118, we can produce up to 650 per hour. That's reasonable. Okay, that's not too bad. That's about 6 outposts per hour. Okay, so that's reasonable. That means it'll take 2 to 3 hours to do the outposting phase. We might be able to aim for a higher goal, but I'm not entirely sure if we need to. I also need to compare entity cost, because right now this is about, gosh, how many entities is that? There's not really a good way to check aside from manually doing it, is there? Okay, so that's 7,000, 10,000, 12,000, 13,000. Oh my gosh. Well, we don't need the power plant in this. That decreases the number a little bit, not a ton. Yeah, let's call that 9,000, 10,000, 11,000, 12,000. And then we'll say all those last ones are probably another 1,000. So yeah, let's say 13 to 14,000 entities per outpost. That sounds like a lot. I don't know if it is though compared to the actual, or compared to their runs, because I know I'm trying to get an estimate. I don't know how long the outpost will take to build, so I'm just trying to guess it. But I don't think we're going to be able to get a super accurate estimate. But I know in like actual 100% runs, they do go for... It's like an outpost. It's like 10 outposts an hour. I think they're trying to get it smaller to like not smaller amounts, but they're trying to decrease the time. So like trying to get it down to like 15 or something. But I think at the moment it's about 10 to 12 per hour. And I think it's realistic for us to aim for half of that, just because the entity cost is so high. But we can check that real quick. Let's see. Can we check it real quick? Wait, do we not have the blueprint book? I'm very confused how this is here, but we don't have the blueprint book for it. very, very confused, actually. Test. The thing is, we can't really do a very accurate test. Oh, I thought you were suggesting how I can figure out how many I can produce. Chat is special today? What's going on with chat? Is it not working? Took forever till it loaded. That's weird. And I think that would have to be a Twitch issue, right? But, I mean, yeah, I thought you were suggesting I test the Outpost, which I can also do. I could probably at least test build time, assuming that's the only thing being built. We can at least do that. I don't know. Well, okay. How many... 3 actions can be sent per tick, right? So they can dispatch a maximum of... Oh, that's a lot. 180 bots per second. So... Yeah, best case scenario, somehow, if we have 15,000 bots in the Outpost, it can dispatch all of the Outpost in 2 minutes if we have 15,000 bots per Outpost. That's not realistic, but it means we're not going to be bot queue limited. Yeah, I'm just trying to get a rough estimate of how long, maybe not how long, but how fast I can expect the outposting to be. Because right now, my estimate is that I think it's going to take twice as long, but there's literally no logic to that. It's just, I feel like it'll probably take me at least twice as long per outpost. But I might try to design the base to go a little faster than that, just in case. Because it is easier to, like, not do something than it is to add something later. For some reason, I don't have any of the blueprint books, though, which is really weird. I'm not entirely sure what happened to them. Okay, at least we have... No, that's the new one. Yeah, where are the blueprint books? I feel like I definitely took it out. Oh, there's one. But they should be, like, locally saved, so that's why I'm confused. I must have just deleted them in the other ones. Oh, well, they're not my blueprint books, so it's not like I'm losing anything. Where are the outpost blueprints? Oh, no, I already lost it. Just trying to get an entity number. Also, is it this outpost? No, that's not the right outpost. There's a giant green ship signal, right? Yeah. This is what I need. Oh my gosh. How many... Well, is this... This is the early one, right? How hard is it to make it possible to give a production burst of green chips, like delivering 10k GC from the outpost? What does that mean? Like, how hard would it be to use the green chips? Outpost. I liked Outpost beta. Wait, that's not beta. Is that a German thing? Is that the... I'm not even gonna try. But that's not beta. Yeah, Outpost 0. Okay, so which is the main outpost? Sharp S. Yeah, let's go with that. Sharp S. It's like I knew it was an S sound. I don't know its name. Is it this one? No. Oh, it does say GC0. That says water rails. What the heck is the green chip outpost? This one? Oh, it's this one. L3. Okay, thank you. Oh, no. Okay. I didn't realize our entity cost was that bad. This obviously doesn't have the second mining outpost, but yeah, the entities, that's probably like, what, 1,000? Yeah, we'll say 1,000. So our outposts do have not 5 times. Let's say 3 to 4 times the entity costs. For, I'm imagining, worse production. No comparable production per outpost. It's just we're limited to how many. Okay. So at least we have comparable production from a single outpost. That's something. It's not great, but you know, we can live with that. Is that being picked up? It might be. Wondering, is it worth it to give a full inventory of green chips to the base, as in how hard to implement, perhaps for blues or modules? Cranes with burner inserters are really difficult to use. So I don't know if it would be that helpful. Not trains. So you're just thinking, oh, just a one-time carry? That's not that useful. Because that's not a ton of green chips. And because I will probably be playing with a controller this time around, I'm very much... I'm expecting I'm going to be very much limited by just ability to paste outposts as opposed to any form of production. Unless I feel good enough to use it. To use a keyboard for this portion, but we're most likely going to be mechanically limited here. This challenge would be much easier in 2.0. You wouldn't have to be as careful about a lot of things, which is nice. Mostly like Roboports and stuff. Roboport placement is just going to be more reliable. Landfill placement, I guess, would be a little better. Yeah, I guess since you have the blueprints already pre-made, 2.0 doesn't have a ton of things that would benefit it. Maybe trains would be easier to place because you could go over other trains. I don't know how that useful that would be, but I imagine it's decent enough. Filters on inserters. There's only been like one time where I've wanted filters on a burner inserter. There are... I think the only time I've ever wanted to use it is for a buffered chest, which aren't super useful anyway, for the most part. But the main improvement I would see is just the bots being more forgiving if you mess up, as opposed to strictly necessary. But like if you mess up Roboport placements in 2.0, I don't think bots will get stuck in a loop like they will now. Which we do always have the ability of manual intervention, but that is one thing that's kind of concerning. Let's get rid of this. But yeah, I probably will not be bot key limited. That's what those rough estimates for. So even if we send like... Also, oh, that's another question. How many bots did they send to the outposts? It's like 250, right? Or is that how much gets sent to the building outpost? Because that is something I do not have accounted for in my numbers. Let's see. 700? Okay, that is a lot higher than I thought. That's... 700. How much are we producing? We technically have enough, but we'll probably need about that many, at least. $700, $450, $600. Okay, all these numbers are a lot higher than I thought. That's the main thing. I guess at the end of the day, it probably doesn't matter that much if we have the bots build things immediately, because we're going to be waiting for 3 to 4 hours. I don't think it's going to be the end of the world if bots take an extra 10 minutes to build it. It's not great, but I don't think it's going to... I don't think I need to stress too much about it. But yeah, we can probably... I said I have about 1 bot per second, right? 1 GC outpost is bigger than the any percent based. Is it? Is the any percent base only like 4,000 entities? I know my outposts are bigger than the any percent base in terms, but that's because they're burner inserters. I don't know if it's as significant with theirs. I can't believe we have 4 times the entity cost. That's just wild. I hate that. Oh, you're just looking in resource count. Gotcha. Yeah, resource count is probably a lot higher, or at least comparable. 6 red belts of iron and 8 red belts, 6 red belts of copper. What are we aiming for? We're aiming for 8 red belts of... We're aiming for 8 red belts of copper and 5 red belts of iron, I think, is our goal. Which we basically, I'm deciding that a double width outpost that uses 2 copper patches will be a lot easier to find than a single outpost, because I don't want to have to do 30 outposts, is basically what it boils down to. I don't know if it's necessarily better, but for using a controller, I'm going with the double size, so we actually have to connect 2 separate copper patches so we can get those 8 red belts. That is the plan, at least, because we can get about 8 yellow belts from a single patch, if it's a fairly large patch. So we can't really aim for that much higher, unfortunately. I think those are the right numbers. I want to say it's about 8. But yeah, we got to this point, and then also I think our Robo port production is a little bit low, but we don't need a ton. We really don't need a ton. We need like 40 per out. Ooh, wait, how many do I need per outpost? I haven't made any changes, so at least I can just go back and forth pretty easily. Except for that part. Can you and build one super efficient green chip on patch smelting plus assembling blueprint in the real run? Probably not in the real. Well, probably not. Maybe in like the 3 hours we're waiting, we can just design one for fun. If I don't just decide to end stream and just do the 3 hours wait offline, we could do something like that. The problem is I will be using a controller, so designing is not going to be that fun. I would have to design it ahead of time. It will have exactly 10 assemblers for green chips. That's not bad. Okay, that's a manageable size. The only issue is we have to find a spot where copper and iron meet, so that way we can actually do a full lane. Because that's all we can fit. Yeah, probably. I know I did one of those in the original run. It was terrible. Okay, what am I looking for here? Okay, so we can probably assume, let's say 50 roboports. So we need a lot. Oh, geez. So we need 300 roboports per hour. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but with how burner inserters are limited, it's a lot more than I was expecting. Current design is already heavily dependent on bot queue, as you can only do 3 bots per tick. And how many bots is available, making base 3 or 4 times bigger, it'll be even more tragic. Do you mean like the actual runs? I don't think it's I don't think they're heavily dependent on bot queue. I think it makes a difference, but they're definitely not maxing it out on average. Because does anybody remember MK, his designs? One of his like philosophy, he was trying to work, like one of the things he was optimizing for is he wanted to just maximize the bot queue like no tomorrow. I think he wanted them to get close to that lower limit. But with his like beaconed outpost or something like that. Which means there's definitely some headroom for bot queue stuff. There are limits, but of course, like there are still limits about the bot queue. I just don't think it's like that lower threshold. Yeah, they're a limiting factor, but they're a limiting factor for reasons other than just maximum entities per tick. But yeah, we're definitely not concerned with that. Wait, why? What the heck? What? Oh, that's cool. Forgot about that mod. Tick limit is only a problem if you need to save every possible second to improve. Well, okay, so for me, I am worried about bot queue, just not to that degree. What do we need to do anyway? Now that we've established how many entities we need. So many. Okay. Yeah, we need more Roboport production. I don't think what we have will suffice. I know we only need 300 per hour, but that's 1 per 10 seconds, and I don't think we produce that. Do we? How would I test this? Yeah, we need we need 16 launches, I think. If I'm careful, I think 15 would work. But we're gonna aim for 16 just so if my prod modules aren't placed correctly, we're not like just sitting there waiting forever. But yeah, we're aiming for 16 just to have a little bit of headroom because that's only like an extra. It's not gonna waste a ton of resources to do that because nothing. The silo stalling isn't gonna help anything else. We'll use prod ones or prod threes. Prod threes for the silo and for sciences and labs. So we need a total of like 56 prod threes. Thanks for the reminder. That's what this is about. More module production is main. You mean in the... Oh. There's no way. There's no way we're using prod 3s in the GC outpost. Do you know how expensive those are? They're insanely pricey. For almost no benefit. They're like 1,000 times... No, they're 100 times more expensive than prod 1s. Then we're not using prod 3s. Prod 2s were a maybe, but there's no reason to use those either. It doesn't save us enough entities. That is not that I'm concerned about. Have you made construction belt that spread inserters and belts around the base? No, we have not. We have a lot of gaps, so I'm not too worried about that. I figured we would just fill in the gaps later. Once we have everything down, because that seems... it seems like that won't be too difficult to do, because we do have, like I said, we have these gaps to work with. I think we'll be fine there. But yeah, definitely prod 1s in the outposts. Things get incredibly expensive. Like, if I wanted to use prod 3s in the outposts, I would need... I'm pretty sure I would need this many red chip assemblers, at least. So it's not very viable. That's a lot. And I don't even know if that was the right estimate, because I said, well, let's just say 80 times. 90 times 80. 8,000. Okay, that was not enough. Yeah, we need 80 of these. It can actually be made anywhere where iron is available, as it does need it copper. Yeah, that was another option. I was considering just like having splitters in places where iron is and just producing them locally. That would also work pretty well. Did we do prod 3s? I think we have the space for it. I wanted them to be here, but that's all I got to. So this has red chips on it. This has blue chips on it. I don't know why this had speed 2s. I think this is just a placeholder. Yeah, this is supposed to produce prod 3s for me. Because, yeah. Oh, wait. No, we need prod 2s first. What's the ratio? Can we direct feed? We probably can't direct feed. It's a 1 to 2, right? Let's see. That takes 30 seconds to craft. This takes 60. It needs 5? It's close to a 1 to 2. That should be fine. So if we can assume this runs full speed, that will take an hour with just 1 assembler. So I think we need 2 assemblers. Did not realize they produce that slowly. Or we can use beacons. Those are also an option. Yeah, we could use beacons, probably. We actually aren't producing beacons right now. I should probably do that. Okay, does that work? I mean, honestly, this seems like a decent enough spot. We might be fine here. That has speed mods and blue chips. This has prod mods. This goes here. This direct feeds. Wait, this doesn't work, does it? That... No, they can't be placed that close to each other. I might be able to do a tile apart, though. Yeah, that works. We'll need to move the plastic around, but yeah, that should work. We'll probably rotate it, but I mean, conceptually, this is fine. We can use the splitter strat there. This can get coal, no problem. And then we can wrap it We can wrap it around, and I think we'll be okay. So something like... that doesn't work. But that's fine. We can use an extra splitter. It's not the end of the world. There we go. So something like this would be fine. And then we can probably fit beacons here. Maybe another one as well. Maybe I just double it. I don't know. Let's see. We can fit a couple beacons there. We can fit another 2 here. That's all right. I feel like it's not worth using beacons. Those are speed 2s. Yeah, that's a lot of work for these to be. Well, they're not powered, so I guess I don't really know how much they really are. Why aren't they working? There we go. Okay. Oh, was I hovering over the wrong thing? I don't know. Okay, yeah, this keeps changing. I think it's because they're unpowered. I thought it would give me the estimate, even pretending they were. Okay, so 2.1, 1.67. Yeah, never enough bacon. Never enough bacon. So this is the equivalent of having 3 assemblers. That doesn't seem worth it. But yeah, this is 1 per... This produces all of the prod 3s we need within an hour, which is honestly not terrible, but I would like to do it in half an hour if I could. That seems a lot more manageable. So let's go with that. And I think this just changes which side this comes from, because now there's not a huge benefit. I hope our production is enough for this. I don't actually know. Because this isn't like a super high throughput thing, but it is slightly a bother. Okay. I guess space-wise, we don't really need to stress about it. Let's remove the modules as well. I might do some beacons. Like 1 beacon would be fine. Wait, oh wait, these could be yellow assemblers. I guess I can make them yellow assemblers. And then we can give them speed 1s. This doesn't feel awful. This seems a little bit easier than beacons. Or you can do both. Yeah, that's the real strat. How fast is this? It hasn't changed. Just limit it so it won't be over. Oh yeah. Thanks for the reminder. We'll need a combinator. That should work. Yeah, that should be fine. We could also, honestly, I could just limit it to, well, no, I think we should use combinator. I was gonna say we could chest size limit it, but that's not a great option. Because these will probably, it depends when this is placed, but this might be placed before they're needed, in which case I want them to be buffering, so a chest size limit wouldn't work very well. Also, well, I could do both. No, wait, you can't. I could kind of do both. I could have the outputs be chest size limited, and then the inputs be limited by a combinator. That could work. That would overproduce up to like 1. But again, not the end of the world. And this okay, so this is just prod 1s. So this is actually not terribly awful to have wasted. How much would this back up? 10? Okay, so it would back up to, let's say 40. Yeah, that's like 1 of these. We can live with that. Okay, so probably more like 50 now. But either way, we can live with that. This can go down a tile. Okay, I think this is alright. I mean, it's more compact than I was expecting it would be. I like how these are unevenly balanced, but it doesn't really matter where the beacon goes, as long as it's affecting 3. Maybe we can put 1 on each side. I don't know. We'll leave the bacon. We'll leave the beacon there. Actually, you know what? We're gonna do assembler ones, because I think I want this to be placed Wait. Wait. Will we have assembler 3s by this point? We will. We just haven't made them. That reminds me. We need to make early assembler 3s. We need like a small assembler 3 production down here. Somehow. Just for like the early builds. Outpost will have an entirely separate one, but as you can see, we have RCUs, we have sciences, and we have possibly this thing. So we just need a few assembler 3s early, just to start building. These don't have an output. That's easy. It's an easy fix. Assembler 3s next to speed 2s. Why would they be next to a speed 2s? The issue is we're not really producing speed 2s yet. I guess they'll be fairly close. Because speed 2s are here. I figured we'd produce them like right here or here. Just as an early one, because this is where we're producing assemblers. And it would be easy enough to get assemblers and speeds right here. Actually, yeah, that's really easy. It's an ingredient. Speed 1s is an ingredient. Speed 2s, fortunately, aren't. Otherwise, I don't think we'd be using them. But yeah, we only need speed 1s. They're similar ingredients, I guess. Speed 1 is for RCUs. They're both for RCUs. Or not they're both for RCUs. Speed 1's for both, is what I meant to say. Yeah, okay, so we're fine. I was second guessing myself. But yeah, no, we're right. Okay, can I expand this? Not really. This is gonna have a very, very weird fuel setup. I'm just putting it out there. It's not gonna be pleasant. Let's see, red chips are fine. RCU kills 1 blue board and 1 speed. Rip RCU soon? What's wrong with RCUs? Are they broken? RCU, yeah, RCUs is 1 speed 1, and 1 blue board. And then assembler 2s or assembler 3s are 4 speed mods or 4 speed 1s and then 2 assembler 2s. I guess I could circuit logic them. This is the more I look at it, the more I don't like this design. Mostly because these are going to be very tricky to feed. Rip. Okay, rip in the future. Gotcha. I wasn't sure if I broke a belt because I do that sometimes. It was not related to what I'm doing right now. Okay, that makes me happier. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. They are gonna have to be changed somehow. That won't work. I could do that. I mean, technically, as long as it's safe, it's fine. It's gonna be the ugliest setup ever for fuel, but hey, if it works, I'm fine with it. Ooh, you know, actually, wait. Oh, that looks awful. Oh wait, that breaks things. Never mind. If we use a red belt, though, that could work. Where else could we come from? Yeah, we'll just come from around here. I can't go this way. There's not enough space. Actually, it's not the worst thing I made. We're leaving that. It's a strong contender. Yeah, no, it's genuinely a strong contender though. It's actually all right. As long as I have 1 speed, 1 beacon, I think I'm content. Maybe we just remove the beacon. Okay, so this will produce all of them in 15 minutes. I don't even know if I have enough modules to produce them that fast. Let's test that real quick. Yeah, we don't need the beacons. This is using 1 blue chip. 1.5 blue chips per second. Yeah, that's half our blue. That's all of this blue chip production. Yeah, we don't need more. It's literally half of our blue chip production. Let's not use beacons. Okay. So it looks like we'll be producing all of them in a little under 15 minutes. That's fine. We can live with that. Okay, now I guess if we use undergrounds here, it makes a lot more sense. And then, okay, so this has to use a splitter with a prio. Otherwise, that's going to brown out. That's safe. This was something we did a weird design for. Actually, wait, maybe we do that weird design again. Yeah, let's not reinvent sliced bread. That's not an expression. It's not an expression. Let's not reinvent the wheel. Yeah, it's the best thing since we invented sliced bread. Everybody's familiar with that expression, right? Okay, so that's safe. These are safe. Anything grabbing from a splitter needs a prio, but I don't think we're grabbing from a splitter. Okay, those are good. You know, I would like to be able to do this in just one central point for fuel. I don't think that's going to happen. Unless I do something like this. Ooh, that won't work. This needs a splitter for safety. Yep, that's, it's ugly. Don't know what else I can say. We also don't have an output yet, so I don't even know if this works well. Okay, well that one has a very good output spot. If I could share paths provider chest, that would be great, but something tells me that's not gonna happen. This is ravioli. We're just going through all of the pasta dishes. It all makes sense. Okay, you know what? Sure. Wait, no, this doesn't quite work. Yeah, this is It's fine. It's weird, but it's technically fine. I'm assuming we're just gonna steal from here, so let's test that real quick. They should all be pretty safe. We have outputs, we have inputs, we have inputs, we have double inputs on these, we have an output on all of them, these have outputs. It's fine. Okay. I think inserter placement wise, this is all right. There's 100% a better way to do it, but this is such like an inconsequential part of our build that I didn't feel like it was worth a ton of mental effort to try to get it like ultra clean or anything, which is why it looks like it does. So all of these inserters will be on the same grid. These ones probably won't do anything. These are the ones that matter, but figured we might as well roll with it. Okay, we do need to do an estimate again. 4 plus 24 plus 10. Well, wait, that's not how I should have been counting. No, that's not how you count this at all. 24 times 2. Right? Plus another 10 times 4. These are worth using Prot 3s in, right? The more I think about it, the more they're not. Plus 10 times 4. Plus 4. 92. Okay, so it's at least we need at least 92. Check in blueprint how many is used. Yeah, that would have worked too, huh? In my mind, I didn't place prod 3s in them yet, so I didn't think that would work. But zooming in, yeah, they have prod 3s. I'm just so used to looking at the normal one, which has them like manually upgraded, which we still need to do, by the way. Forgot about that. But yeah, that's 92. Okay, so we can do at least 92. Since I'm not entirely sure on that number, I think I'm going to use another combinator. Yeah, okay. So we're going to... We're going to give ourselves the ability to increase it within the run by adding a decider combinator to this. I think that's a good idea. So this connects to the combinator, and it should cycle it through, because this is just counting anything plus 0 as anything. This needs to read the hand contents. And so does... Oh, wait, no, that's not right. This one needs to read the hand contents. So we'll do everything. No, not everything. We'll output everything. Value of that I don't think matters. This is just a counter. I don't know if we need the... If we have this decider combinator, I don't know if we need this one as well. I haven't really used combinators a ton. Yeah, no, I haven't used combinators a ton, so I'm not entirely sure if I need that second one. I guess we could test that real quick, right? Because basically I'm just trying to count, and then we'll say if something is greater than 92, we'll disable them. And this way, if we decide we need 4 more, we can just change this condition, and all of these get re-enabled. So that's why we're doing this like so. So we'll do red is less than 0. That's never going to be true. Enabled if it's 0, greater than 0. There we go. Okay, that should be fine. So this one condition is prods greater than 92. Or is it less than 92? Less than 92. Okay. So that should be fine. I really don't think we need this one. How do I test that? I guess that's the real question. Do I just add a... I guess we can test it with just like a chest. That should be fine, right? Yeah, that should be okay. Probably more elegant ways. But like if we delete this, does it still count things? I think it does, right? No. Does this not work with that combinator? Okay, so we do need the second one, at least with my understanding of it. That's fine. I imagine there's a better way to do it, but this will work for now. We can always come back later. But the idea is there. It disables them if... it disables everything once we get to 92. And that way we can increase it. Cool. Basic combinator stuff. Let's roll with that. Okay. Solid fuel. I feel like we should be getting solid fuel from elsewhere. I want these to be building earlier, but the thing is, we don't have prod mods until this goes up, so we obviously can't build it earlier, so it doesn't matter. So I guess we'll just call it good here. There we go. Engineering talk, we'll just fix it later. Hey, what if we do? You never know. But yeah, spoiler alert, they don't. 100%. This is a lot more crowded than I thought it would be, so we're gonna have to do some weird pass through here. I guess that's fine. I definitely hate this section. Wait. Oh no. You know, our building train, I'm just gonna say it, our building train is gonna be very weird. Oh, I'm dropping frames. I'm dropping every frame. I'll just chill here until my internet comes back. So OBS updated. Wait, it's dropping every frame. There's no point in saying anything. At least not anything meaningful. I'll just ramble to myself while I look for red chips. Okay, so red chips are in here. So we need a splitter here, and then this is blue chips. So we have a couple options here. And I figured we'll just use a... Ooh, that's on the opposite side that I want it to be on, though. That's fine. Uploading pictures again? I'm not. I have everything... Well, I'm not. Someone might be. That's always a possibility. I'll check to make sure it's not me. Let's see. Performance, Ethernet. I'm downloading 32 kilobits per second, so it's definitely not... I mean, it's on my end, but it's not on the end of my computer, I guess. Yeah, we're dropping frames, I think, because somebody else in the house is probably sending something. One day. One day I'll have all right internet, right? One can dream. Okay, well that's it's messy, but it works, right? Yeah. We can also put the splitter there, which just makes it a little bit cleaner. Which is still better, I guess. More faster? I wish we could get more faster internet. That's what we really need. This is very weird, actually. Like, it's not fluctuating like it normally does when it's dropping this many frames. Okay, I think it's leveled out. Because, like, normally when it says it's dropping frames, it shows me, like, 0 to, like, 500, but it was still showing, like, 1,000. But I think... Okay, I think it's leveled out. What were we doing? Internet and a 7800 X3D or better. I really wish we could just get better internet. That's the unfortunate thing. Like, the only options we have that might be faster would be Starlink, and that's very much a might be faster. And I haven't heard amazing things about Starlink, but we're stuck with like really old cable internet. Basically, it's quite unfortunate. We keep hoping, because they keep building neighborhoods around us, so we keep hoping that eventually they'll make their way to us, but they have not yet, which is kind of sad. We have to test this, don't we? We'll use an infinity chest, I guess. Actually, wait, how many prods does this use? 1 per second. We're not producing 1 per second, are we? Okay, so we can't run this many. So we will lower our expectations. There we go. We can run this many. I did not realize this would take so many prod ones. I guess I should have expected that, because it's almost a 1-to-1 ratio between these and prods. But yeah, let's just do red chips here. We'll use an infinity chest, or sorry, blue chips. Which we no longer have in our hotbar. I forgot. I think on... Was it Saturday? When we last played Saturday, we realized we were having some conflicts with mods, so we had to delete them, but the damage they did was already done. So we just had to like migrate to an entirely new save. Still not entirely sure what the issue was, but obviously it was bad enough that we just kind of gave up and went to a new world. Because it was just throwing out errors like crazy for things we didn't even have anymore. Having fiber for the last 6 years feels good. I can imagine. Fiber is fantastic. Starlink it looks fantastic. I've never actually used it. But like, I've heard, my friend absolutely loves his. He just like, this isn't designed properly. Oh, we cut the power. But yeah, like we'll play a game and together, and he'll be like, "Oh, mine's not installed. Give me a minute." And he literally means that. Like, he'll have it installed in a minute. And for me, it's like, "Oh, sorry, the game has an update. We'll play tomorrow." Is usually how it works. It's fantastic. Okay, so these don't run. Oh, I just missed the logic on them. That's fine. Yeah, what happened with Starlink? Did it just once they sold enough and everyone was stuck with it, did they just realize it didn't have to be as good, or what? Was there anything in like particular with it? I guess it's also gotten pricey. Because I remember Starlink always seemed pretty cheap. I think it's like 100 to 150 a month where I am. You grow up with 170k over the old telephone wires. What is 170k? Kilobit? That sounds high, but obviously it's not. Oh, oh, wait, that's like 10 times slower than mine. Okay, right. I had to think about that for a bit. Not 170k kbps. That, yeah, okay. Today's speed is measured in gigabit. No need to brag. We measure our speed in megabits still, at least in our house. Okay, this seems to be working fine. Let's speed it up a bit. But yeah, that's like 10 times smaller than I initially read it. Yeah, that's rough. That's the thing. We used to have that speed like briefly in this house, but we eventually got not eventually, but we quickly got what we have now, which at the time was incredibly exciting. You know, like we probably had the fastest speed in the neighborhood. Or in like my classes and like all among my friends for like 5 years. And then everybody else got cable, and then everybody else got fiber, and here we are. This seems to be working fine. The logic seems to be good. Awesome. Hello, Grisboo. Welcome, welcome. Grizzy boy. Probably is more correct. You have 300 megabit fiber. Should be 1,000, but nope, can't do. At least that's still like decent. But yeah, whenever fiber doesn't get 1,000, that always just seems rough. Of course, I would be content with anything, but yeah, that's very, very much slower than it's like all their advertised prices. But yeah, we made something that works. I'm still convinced that there's a better way to do the combinator, but it's functional, and if there's a better way, the cost difference is what, 5 green chips, so it's not too concerning. This is honestly, that's a decent spot to get fuel from too. Is everything safe? This is safe. This is safe enough. These might not be considered safe. I think these should be stack size 1, so they don't fight with each other. Everyone got Giga Optics, but you're still stuck with dial-up. I don't have dial-up. It's not much better, but at least I don't have dial-up. No, the screeching sound, that's just my sister. No. Or my dogs. Just making noises in the background, clearly. Out of curiosity, how close I am to finishing this prince. So we need to do the Outpost production. I think we finished most of the stuff for the main base. Oh, we haven't done... Well, technically these are done, we just haven't connected them. But we're pretty close. I don't think we definitely will not be running this on Monday, but I think we're going to run it probably fairly soon. Like not... It's still going to be in April, it just won't be done on Monday, and that's just because I had to miss like 15 more streams than I thought I was going to have to this month. Or not this month, but the past couple months. So I had to push back that April Fool's Day plan. Because it turns out missing like 50 hours of working on the design is a lot. Is I think what it boils down to. I already saved that, but I'm about to do things that break stuff, so I wanted to be careful. Should I use a calculator for this? Or should I just wing it? What are our options here? I don't think direct feeding is going to help. But we need, okay, let's say 120 assembling machines an hour. Not that kind. And then we need a 2-to-1 ratio. So we need 240 of these per hour, 120 of these per hour. That's a good starting point. Let's do it like step by step, I think. Would be a good way to do it. How many is that per minute? That's not that many per minute, right? That's 2 per minute and 4 per minute. Okay. Very reasonable goals. We don't use like more than. Is that really that low? We can ignore the speed mods too. I really thought the assembly machines were going to be a larger portion of our cost, and it looks like I need half a lane of iron and like a quarter lane of copper, and another quarter lane of steel. Um, these aren't the expensive thing, really. Really, how much of the cost is the modules? 50. Okay, so that's like 200 of the resources are modules. Okay, so like 60% of the cost is modules. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Is that right? No, no, that's per outpost. That makes so much more sense. That's per outpost. We need 120 for a single outpost, so we need 6 times more than that. There we go. Okay, those numbers are way more reasonable. Yeah, okay. So we need 700 per hour. Okay, I like that. So we need 2 full belts of iron. Does any of that go into steel? Yes. A third of that goes into steel. Some go into green chips. Okay. Okay, we have a goal. Well, we can produce green chips here, or we could also produce them here. Something tells me that our resource patches are not balanced. That will have to come in a version 2. That'll definitely have to come in a version 2. Because, like, looking at this, we have a lot of iron and copper coming from this side, and not much going over here. I guess those are really the only 2 resources. I was going to say all the iron and copper is coming from one side, and all the stone is coming from another. But we have, like, a requirement of, what, 3 belts of stone? So it's not like our stone requirement is that high to say something like that. That should be fine then. We can delete these somehow. Let's see, which one? I think force delete. That should be fine. Nope. What? Oh, they just have a small hitbox. Okay. I downloaded a mod that gave me better power poles, or at least large power poles, but they also fly, and I'm not a huge fan of that. I think that complicates stuff, makes it harder to ignore them. But they're all just for testing purposes, so maybe it's fine. I don't know why I keep saving. By the way, I have absolutely no idea. We're gonna reload. Maybe that's why we keep saving. Because if I put the stage in the wrong spot, it just makes it a little bit slower to like delete it. And I just added an empty stage for nothing that I'll probably forget about. Okay, after current, I make this mistake all the time. I definitely have like a different mindset here. He has the most common button you press front. For me, I think it goes at the bottom. I press the bottom button. Just 2 different ways of thinking about it. Let's call this stage 5.1. That seems reasonable. We're gonna have to rename all of our stages, but yeah, that seems reasonable. So we also need refineries. Oh, gosh. I think I just need to get a list. Maybe that's what we do. Let's just get a list real quick of what all we need. That's probably the best option. Burner inserters, we definitely do not need more of. We have enough produced already. We need like half a lane of iron going into burner inserters, but yeah, those are already done. We can increase it, but I don't think we need to plan around that. We also need, we need to check our Roboport count. We need at least 50 Roboports. So we need at least 300 Roboports per hour. We need to make sure we're doing that. Otherwise, yeah, I don't know if we are, but I feel like we have been, but I don't know how many go on our main base, so it's hard to say. Now we need 2 of these, so we'll say, well, we don't need double this. We're doubling the outputs, but we're not doubling the miners. That makes the values harder to estimate. Also, burner drills we're probably good on, because we only need 750, so we only need... we only need 5,000 hour per those. I think we're already producing that. We'll have to check. But we'll write it down just in case. So we need 4,500 of those per hour. And then refineries. I think this is going to be our biggest steel sink. We probably don't need a ton of these. I don't even think we need to account for them in our estimate. We do need to make them, but they're going to use a pretty small percentage of our resources. And then we need... Let's say this one is the larger one. So we'll do another one of these. So that's another 20 and 10. Okay. So we need, let's say 60 refineries and 70 chemical plants, just to be a little bit conservative. Times 6. So what is that? 70 times 6? That's 420, nice. 420 chem plants per hour. What else could we need? I really thought we would need more of them. We might need more of them, but for now we'll undersize it. Because if we need more of those, it has to do with saturation, not how much we actually need, and that's a hard thing to estimate. So this is, we said it's 60, right? So let's do 360 per hour. So we're aiming for one outpost every 10 minutes, effectively. Which I think will match up with mechanics, hopefully. I can't imagine it will be faster. Okay, so conveyors, you know what? We'll do conveyors at the end. Because that will come down to how we think our actual outpost is connected. So right now we can probably assume the belts are not finalized. So yeah, let's just look at the machines. And then we also need, okay, for some reason I decided to use substations. I feel like that was a mistake. So we need double this times 6. So that's 80 times 6, so 480 of each probably is fine. I can't imagine that's going to increase our cost very much. Yeah, those are not adding much to the cost. It's more of just a, hey, it means we need red chips thing as opposed to an actual concern. Okay, and then pipes. I can't imagine we need to include pipes. Yeah, that's like 500 iron per hour, or not per hour, but yeah, it's like 500 pipes per outpost. We're good. We're good. Don't know why it keeps loading that. Maybe the autosave is changing the directory. I thought autosaves didn't change the directory. I thought it was only manual. Oh. Oh well. Oh, I made pita bread yesterday. It was very yummy. They turned out great. We made, I think it's called souvlaki. Just like grilled chicken, and then wrapped in pita and tzatziki. It was very, very delicious. But I think I was talking about that on Tuesday. I mean, technically I made everything on Tuesday, but didn't prepare them. But didn't actually like cook them until Wednesday because timing reasons. But yeah, this seems like a reasonable goal. Okay, this is a we need 2 full assembly machines producing refineries. I think refineries are a much higher portion of our cost. What's La Pena? Is that also just... Okay, this looks very similar. It's just another flatbread? Or does it just translate to flatbread? Okay, some pictures make it look a lot less flat. But it also looks delicious. All bread looks delicious, really. But yeah, first things first, let's get the values. I need to see the total amount of iron I need, right? Okay, so we only need 5 lanes of iron for this. It's a Balkan version of flatbread. Okay. Is there an American flatbread? I don't think we have our own version of flatbread. I feel like there's lots of different flatbreads. Does pizza dough count? No. Is pizza dough? I don't know. I don't think pizza's American. I can't think of tortillas. Also, not really. Because we don't really eat flatbread bread here much. At least not our own. Then again, a lot of foods aren't our own. But yeah, let's just do 5 lanes of iron. Okay, that's not too bad. 1 lane of copper. That surprises me. That very much surprises me. One full lane of copper is all we need. And I imagine it is just for green chips because we don't use anything for the inserters. How much does this use? This is, I think this is 2/3 of a copper lane, so we do need another copper lane. Oh, and then some go into wires. Wait. Wait. Is that right? The estimates that I'm getting are very confusing. I'm seeing 30 drills worth of ore, but only 22 go into furnaces. Get smelted, so something's definitely off there. I must be missing something. But yeah, let's just say one lane of copper. And then the rest, I think, go into wires for these. Oh. Oh, they don't go into wires. Well, that's simple. I don't know why I thought they did. We can't use this, though, can we? I mean, I can, but I don't think I need to. This also... Oh, this is so close to enough. If I tone down my goal just a little bit, this is enough green chips, but that seems like a bad call. Do we have supplement from anywhere? Basically, this is like 80% of the green chips we need. Okay, I think I know what to do. Yeah, okay. The thing is, the thing I want to do requires us to not tessellate it. The only reason we've kept this around is because I wanted it to be in line, but I think that is not a good idea. I think that just complicates things. But I know if I delete it, things get a lot harder to change later. Simplicity-wise, I'm tempted to just leave this and split off of it here. And then call it good. And I think that's fine. Because I'm pretty sure we have extra green chips from something. I don't remember from where, but yeah, I'm pretty sure this... Okay, this is extra green chips. This is extra green chips. Okay. So, okay, here's what I'm thinking. We take a splitter, and we steal some of this, and then we take these, and now we have probably enough. Hopefully. I think. Yeah, I think we'll be fine. Because it's either that or we make an entire new green chip lane, but this is honestly enough for our outposts. I really thought we would need more green chips, but most of the green chips that we need go into the red chips, which we've already produced. Like, that's why the numbers look so weird to me when I glance over, because it's saying we need more red chips than we do. Or it's saying we need all more stuff than we actually do. So yeah, this should be fine. And then I said it was here that we can split off of. Ooh, that can't be mined. Interesting. Yeah, that's the top one. Okay. We can reroute that however we want. This will work for now. I think we'll do a prio, because I definitely want to prioritize these. And this probably has enough. It just in case we're stealing that backup, which is a very, very expensive. Not expensive, but it's a lot of tiles for a just in case, but that's okay. Okay, so that's good. We don't need this wire. The only reason we're keeping it is because I don't want to have to redesign it, so we're just going to do this instead. We are going to just turn it into a copper smelter, because that means it does waste a few entities, but it means we can think way less here, which I like. I think that's fine. How many entities is that? Yeah, that's fine. Like I said, some things that aren't that important or that entity heavy, I'm fine like cutting corners, especially for this late in the run. There we go. Okay, so we have copper, and this is for substations, so we really don't need a ton. This is honestly too many. It's just they're already built and they're not expensive. We have to keep them up anyway for the fuel belt unless I want to reroute the whole thing, so we're just leaving it. And then does this have any spare iron? It does technically have spare iron. I don't think it's worth using, but it does have them if we decide we need it. So we'll cut it here. Realistically, this should be in the higher stage as well, but we don't need to be too concerned with that. Okay, so we have enough green chips, we have enough copper. We also need sticks. Should I have done... I guess we do need at least a small... We do need at least a small big electric pole production earlier. I wonder how much this would still work if you replace all the belts with the blue ones. My guess is it would work at a rate of like 5%, 5 or 10% of. I don't think it would be that close at all. Okay, but here's my thinking. We won't use any substations before this point. That's just a guess, but I feel like we won't use any substations up until this point. Um, yep, complete total guess. No substations used before this. Because I think we can just use, yeah, we can just get away with small electric poles. We will be using big electric poles, though. So we do need an earlier big electric pole production. So yeah, we need to focus on substation production right now. And then we also need to take some red chips. So we have enough left over here. Somehow, if we can get it out. Let's see, is there a belt that goes up? Like what I'm thinking is we just take from this, right? This probably has enough. 1.87. There, yeah, that should be sufficient. Yeah, we'll have a splitter here, which sends red chips up for us. And then we'll be in a much nicer spot. There we go. Okay, so red chips go up. Excellent. Okay, so that's substations down. I mean, I say substations down, but we haven't actually done them yet. And then steel. Okay, how much steel do we need? I think we can make do with one furnace lane. I thought the steel requirement would be a lot higher, but it's really not. I mean, it's high. I think a lot of it is once we dropped down from yellow assemblers to blue assemblers, things got a lot cheaper. So this says 48 stone, there's 48 electric furnaces, which is the same as 48 stone furnaces, right? Yeah. So, do we have a steel lane we really like? This is 96. So this is how much steel we need. Pretty much exactly. Which we do not have super scalable, do we? Actually, do we? Hold on, how do we do this? Oh, whoa, wait. Oh, this is perfect. Yeah, burner inserters cannot pull from blue belt unless it's backed up, exactly. I think if you get lucky, I think they can grab from it if it's really dense, but not consistently. Or maybe they just can't at all. I thought they could sometimes grab it. It's definitely not a design we could actually use though. Yeah, okay. It occasionally grabs some. But it's definitely I think the more you have in a row, the less likely they are to work. And you also have that gamble of will they work before they brown out? Honestly, that was a lot higher than I thought it would be. Now that was just a small scale, and like I said, the larger you get, the worse it's gonna be. But yeah, it's not too bad. I didn't realize we had steel on its own grid. Now I'm very confused. I remember we had some weirdness with the steel lane earlier. Oh, it's because we did a half lane. Okay. So yeah, this is all the steel I supposedly need for the outpost, which is really weird to me. I don't know why. I just was expecting it to have a much higher steel requirement. I think it's because I'm comparing to, people who use electric furnaces. They have a higher steel requirement, right? Yeah, so twice the steel from those. And only assembler 3s, which we're also not using. So yeah, that's probably it. Yeah, the electric definitely makes a difference. And I think assembler 2s, right? pretty significant cost reduction. Like this is half the steel of this. Or this is half the steel of this. And since its similar count is the same. Yeah, that also... Okay. So yeah, I think in my original design we were going to use 2 or 3 times this steel. And then we recalibrated how... Or reevaluated, not recalibrated. Reevaluated how much we actually needed. Hold on. What's wrong here? Oh, no, it's fine. We reevaluated how much we actually needed modules. Turns out they're not that helpful. Or at least not in copper cables. Oh, I forgot how we did the coal here. I really like that. Also, this is a very short lane. I feel like our assembler count for this is going to be pretty low. Okay, and then we also needed... I think I said 5 iron lanes, right? But some of that was going into steel. Well, let's just do... let's do 4, because that gives us some wiggle room if we need to do more belts. And I think we also need a lot more belts, but we need to finalize our outpost before I estimate that. Is there anything here that's worth direct feeding? I think so. Because we have 2 options here, right? We can direct feed, which is better, but it's less flexible. So the things that are definitely worth direct feeding for, I imagine, will be cables. Not cables, gears. Because that's like an entire furnace lane of gears. So we can definitely do direct fed gears. I think everything else is used in form of pipe or just used as iron directly. So I think that's all we can do there. So we have a direct fed gears lane, right? Like a pure one? Actually, wait. Do we not have a... There we go. I was like, I could have sworn we had a direct fed gears lane. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's so messy looking. And that the only reason this is so messy because it had this copper lane, it had this belt lane next to it, which complicated it a lot. So let's see, where else did I use gears? I did a small gear production up here, I think. No? Okay, I guess this was the last time we used gears. Looking at it now, I think copying this is probably our best bet. Because this is a lot cleaner and easy to fix than the other one would be. So yeah, let's try to make this into a double lane. And then you might notice this is 14 assemblers. That is because these were inserter limited. They are no longer inserter limited at this point in the run. So we can cut this down to a normal length, which is kind of nice. Not a huge difference, but hey, we'll take it. Yeah, I think we just have to design this one from scratch again. I mean, it's not like fully from scratch, but yeah, we just have to redo basically every single one of the fuel belts because these aren't super copyable. Also, I don't know what this is. Oh, that's an output. Okay. So this will be this long, I think. That's 48 furnaces. Yeah, that should be fine. I think it's a little bit overdone in terms of the gears, but we want a little bit extra. Just in case I decide to raise my goal a little bit. It's not going to hamper us or hinder us. Hamper? Does hamper also work? Because every time I say that, I keep thinking laundry hamper. I'm pretty sure it does not. No, wait, it does mean. Okay, yeah, they do have similar. They do have similar definitions. For some reason, I could only think of laundry hamper right there. But yeah, like I said, if we overproduce gears, it's not the end of the world. It doesn't waste a ton of entities or resources to have a slightly larger base at this point. So I'd much rather not have to cram it in later. The only downside is now we have to connect everything, which is rough. Okay, so this is a double lane, which I don't love. And clearly this doesn't work to just copy it like that. That's fine. Okay, that seems all right. Replace them with undergrounds. Then I think it is perfect. Okay. And then same thing here. This goes... Oh, God. Gosh, we'll do those later, I guess. Maybe we just change what side it outputs from. I do remember having this struggle before, but I think we managed to work around it. These are not full drags. That's one of the most annoying things about burner inserters. Everything is so close to a full drag, but not quite, and it very much complicates things. Okay, so this is not going to saturate a belt, right? Oh, it does. Okay, so red belt it is. No Discord sock? What do you mean no Discord sock? What does Discord sock mean? I'm sorry to disappoint you. Did I not update my sock today? No, I did, okay. Description? Sock of Discord? Not sure what you're referring to then. Discord themed socks would be pretty cool though. I know that's not what you were saying, but it does sound kind of neat. Okay, so we're gonna have to use a small amount of red belt here if we want this to actually work, or I guess we could just separate into 3 lanes. Yeah, let's just do 3 lanes. That seems better. Okay, so we can assume these run at. Actually, what ratio do they run at? They want 2.7. They need 2. They need 2.5. Okay, so it's a 2.5 over 2.7. That's like 92%. So maybe we do, in fact, have enough iron here. Let's see, 8.7. I don't think we do. Channel description has a title of Discord, but no accompanying sock. Then I shall have to fix that, huh? Let's see, what are these? Are these Discord themed socks? Wait. Those have nothing to do with Discord, but I like them. They're discordant, I guess. That's something. Those are pretty cool socks though. I like those. Yeah, we'll just divide into 3. I think that's our best bet. And then I think we were having trouble with this the other day, and someone pointed out we can just move it. That this is a different problem. Oh, okay. But it's not a pony. I guess it makes sense that there's creatures there that aren't ponies. Wait, is it a pony or a unicorn? Oh, looking at it larger, it is not just a dragon. Okay, it's very, very discordant, huh? Their name makes sense now. That is a chimera and a half for sure. Okay, so does it matter what side we output things on? I don't think it does. I think we can make everything. I think we can make anything work. These prod mods really screw with things. They're giving me extra resources for free, and it's complicating stuff. Draconicus, literally a dragon pony. Yeah, it does look slightly pony-like in the full picture. Okay, let's do it. Let's do 8 and 8. That seems good. Okay, so this is 1/2. That means this is the next 8. Okay. Then we can do a side load there, and then this is the last 8. Okay. Much more easy to visualize now. Do things get simpler if we send it to the bottom? No, not really. But yeah, full-blown chimera. Very much a full-blown chimera. What creature is not mixed in? I count like 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I count 9, but there's probably more, because it looks like the end of the tail is also 1. So maybe 10. That's a lot for a chimera. I'm used to like, the most I've seen is what, 3? What's a hippogriff? That's 3, right? Horse, lion thing. Wait, do hippogriffs have lion? No, I don't think hippogriffs have lion. Griffins are the lion. No. Yes? I think so. I think they're like back half lion or something. I don't know. Chimeras are cool, but I do not know which ones are which. Unless I see them, then I'm like, oh yeah, that's that one. But I cannot picture them at all right now. But part of that is just I can't picture anything. That's when things always a struggle. Okay, so this should be good. I don't know how to deal with this middle section. We do have to have the coal going all the way around, so maybe... Yes, no, maybe hamsters. It might have a hamster in it. Like, hamsters are small, right? If you put like a little hamster tail on him, it would blend in with his tail. These are the worst. I don't like this. Okay, we can do this. It's just slightly unfortunate. Do we just add a space? I think we just add a space and just make life simpler. Pretty sure that's the strat 100%. So that's not how I add a space. That almost worked. I guess we can add a splitter here if we want. And then it kind of works. Yeah, you know what, we'll just do that. It's good enough. It does the job. I don't think that's supposed to connect there, though. This one doesn't need to be changed. Okay. So fuel goes up. And then it goes back down. There we go. Okay, so it looks like the fuel connection isn't terrible. That's good. It definitely feels like this would be better if combined with another fuel connection, but yeah, we can live with that. Okay, yeah, this is something we can copy and paste. Excellent. I was worried that we got off the grid at some point and this wouldn't work. But I think we're okay. Oh, wait. These are going the wrong way. Sure. More sock. Oh, wait. Is this actual... Okay, those at least say Discord on them. I don't know what the symbol at the top is. I mean, I see batteries, but I don't know what the rest is supposed to be. Maybe just supposed to look techy. Or tacky, depending on what you like. Okay, this is all right. Yeah, I think that works. We need to make sure everything is safe. I think it should be safe because we didn't have to rotate things. It's cyber something something. Yeah, that was my thought too. It's like it looks technological. Technically, that's all you need. Oh, I think if we play this right, we don't actually add that much space, so I think we're okay. Okay, so that side loads everything, so that's a full belt. And now we ship this off. And we weave it through there, so that way we've only added one extra tile from the fuel lanes. Okay, that is acceptable. They're all getting iron. I think we can assume they're all working as well. That is a bold assumption, but it's sometimes true. Sometimes things work. We don't have power. I really miss the awesome power poles that we used to have from... That was like... Honestly, that's the only thing I miss from editor extensions, because everything else just bugged out. But I feel like the power lanes did not cause a ton of issues, but we had to just get rid of them because obviously we were breaking things with the mod. Okay, we're gonna assume that works. It wasn't connected, but we can assume it works. I don't think these go anywhere. Wait. Oh, we have not finished connecting these. Whoops. That's fine. Okay, well, aside from the fact that it didn't work, it worked. That's a sentence. That's a meaningful sentence, right? Does that mean these also aren't outputting? Yes, it does. Okay. Very easy fix. Because that should be 4 assembly machines, right? Let's see. 1. This one's connected. 1, 2, 3. I feel like we're missing one over here. Oh, this is outputting onto the wrong side. I think that's okay. Actually, no. Let's just output how we intended to. That's all right. That's better. Okay, these aren't running. I think it's just because we never finished the coal loop. So let's do that real quick. Okay, now I think coal should get through them. Okay, so that's gears down. Honestly, I really like the direct fed gears. I think it's a really fun design. That does remind me, we need more module production early on. We need to figure out a place to fit that early. We're gonna have to cram some module production in like a corner or like over here. Honestly, we could just do something awkwardly off to the side because we use it in a lot of assembling machines, but we haven't actually increased our production since we made bots. So we do not have enough starting prod mods, which is a little bit non-ideal. I also don't even think we're producing enough for purple science. So that needs 0.7. We're producing 0.4. Yeah, okay. More production model for main. We have half. Let's just say that. That should be fine. I guess we don't really need a ton of module production for the assembly machines. Because like this right here is, what, 20, maybe 25 modules? Let's just say 25 modules. That's totally fine. If things work 5% slowly for a short while, we'll survive. So yeah, I don't think we need a ton main. We just need to be aware of it, especially for science. Okay, I think these are all outputting though, which seems good. Given what this base does, it's incredibly compact. Yeah, there's like some awkward spots that I just kind of misjudged how wide base builds would be, like right here. But like right here is very compact. Individual sections I think are really good. If we were to like stagger things and make like a weird non-rectangular base, I think we could compress it a lot more. But I think the benefit of that isn't super significant at this point in time, so I'm keeping it a little simpler. But yeah, it's way more compact than I thought it would be. I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that we are off the original coal grid. Like, we still use the coal grid concept, but now that it's localized, that lets us make individual builds smaller. Because we don't have to stagger everything by the same amount and stuff. Because before, if we needed to move something, we had to move it 5 tiles. Now we can put it wherever, because fuel comes from the left. And I think that's neat. Now, I am realizing we need more chemical plants and refineries just for our base. Currently, I am banking on the original mall being able to supply everything I need. That's probably not true, so I imagine we'll have some emergency expansions thrown on somewhere. Not by hand, but just like... I think we're going to have a second small base, like right here, for the things that we missed. Like, if I'm just careful to not build anything here, we could say this is a second mall, just for the things I undersized. Because I have forgotten... And I think the only thing I've really forgotten are refineries and chem plants. Things we need for oil within our main base. I have not counted for. I think most other things we're good on, but those in particular we have not. And that's because I haven't been building fuel yet. But yeah, we're going to need like 5,000 chem plants, I think, by the end of the run. No. 3,000? I think my estimate was 3,000. Which is a lot, considering that's just going into solid fuel for the most part. Okay, so that's good. The rest we need is just plain iron, I'm pretty sure. Actually, wait, no, we don't need a ton of plain iron. Most of it goes into gears, some goes into sticks, some go into pipe. I think with how little pipe we need, I think it's not worth direct feeding the pipe. I think we just give ourselves two lanes of iron and call it good. Just two perfectly normal lanes of iron. That sounded very sarcastic. Two perfectly normal copper lanes or iron lanes. We haven't had to do an iron lane for a while. I think I could combine it with this one and share a fuel lane if I want to. I'm pretty sure that's what I'm gonna go with. And when I say 2 lanes of iron, I mean 2 yellow belts of iron. So this width, we'll probably just use a red belt for the ending section. I think we'll be fine. But yeah, I imagine we'll be able to copy this. And you know what? Copying it does nothing. I was gonna say we can copy it and then use it as a base, but yeah, no. Copying it is useless. It's not gonna simplify anything. We have to shift everything anyway. No point making it hectic for nothing. So yeah, if we just line up the furnaces though, I think we're good. But yeah, it looks like we'll be fairly easily able to share this lane, which I think is really nice because that actually makes it could potentially make it 2 tiles more compact. Well, we're just gonna make it 1 tile more compact, and it should be okay. Okay, kind of wish I had done this before I copied it 4 times, but that's fine. At least we'll be able to copy and mirror it to the other side. Okay, there we go. And then this is just a perfectly normal... That sounds so sarcastic if I say that. This is just a perfectly normal iron lane where we have to upgrade the second. Let's do that much as red belt, I think. Because the issue is we can't really split the yellow belts like you normally can because we have these, the outsider fueling. They make it that you can't really do supplemental iron like halfway down the lane. At least not easily. I think maybe... I do have this extra tile to work with, though. I could split it and send it down. Because I like the idea of not having red belt. We'll see. We'll look into it. Because I think that might be a good option. Like, we already have this tile. I might as well use it. So for now, let's just copy it and mirror it to the other side. Let's see if we can get these to work. And then this is entity savings. Let's do this now. You know, we haven't really done it. We haven't really been trying to save entities a lot of the time. We've been cutting some corners. Yeah, let's actually do that. We're on the right layer, right? Okay, we are actually on the right layer. That's good. This does not really save entities. I think I might just make this a straight line. Okay, that works. We do have to raise all of them manually, which is a little bit annoying. But might as well maximize this underground while we can. Oh, and because of the gear belt, we literally have to do all of this entirely by hand. That's fantastic. That doesn't work for some reason. There we go. Okay, that's better. Okay, now I guess we can do an underground there. Okay, so raising it didn't actually save entities, but that's fine. That happens. Okay, so the only thing I really want to copy right now is... Actually, no, I can copy all of this. Cool. And then I think for this one, we should use a splitter, right? Yeah, okay, we use the splitter here. That actually should look like this. Actually, no, it should look like this. Split beforehand. It uses an extra entity, but it actually works, which is very important. Functionality is useful, one might say. Incredibly useful. This is making it look a lot harder to get the underground out of here. But I think it technically... I think we can manage. Now we can go back to pacing this, which there are going to be some entity conflicts, I think, but not a ton. Okay, fuel should be making its way through, unless we actually flipped a belt. Oh, we did have some entity conflicts. That's unfortunate. At least it was only every other one, so that's fine. Now we need to move this up. Send it down, underground, 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 sure. Okay, now we can move this all down a tile. Now that it works perfectly. Now that we extended the belt to maximize this distance, now we realize we can just shift the whole thing down and extending the belt did nothing. Excellent. Exactly what I wanted. Okay. There we go. Okay, it's looking more and more like we're gonna have some trouble if we try to get this iron out of here. I guess we could send it... let's see, we don't really have a ton of space here. I was planning to use this and send it up, but that's where fueling is. What if we shift them over? Does that simplify things? No, it literally changes nothing. It literally changes nothing. I mean, I think it's worth doing, but it doesn't, because it does save a splitter, but it doesn't really help my cause. So yeah, we're gonna have to use a red belt. Now, red undergrounds are kind of expensive. I might actually bite the cost, the entity cost here, and just go with regular undergrounds, or regular red belt, because it is so much cheaper. And then we'll split it into 2 iron lanes. That should be fine. I don't think it splits perfectly, but it's pretty close. This is already slightly oversized anyway, so we're fine. Yeah, that's 48 furnaces, so I think that's more than enough. So this should be enough for pipes, sticks, and simpler ones is the goal from this one. Okay, let's see if we actually left enough space for a supplemental iron lane. I think we did. Okay, so it supplements here. So this goes forward and then it goes down. Okay, that actually fits a lot nicer than I thought it would. Unfortunately, we don't have this option on the top anymore because of the fuel lane. So we will have to use 1 extra tile up top. That's okay. Not the end of the world. This could work. It depends which side of the fuel, but we can make that work. We can also... Actually, no, I think that's what we're gonna have to do. That seems manageable. Let's see, because we could have fuel on the inside, and then this could have iron on the top side. Yeah, that's fine. This only sends the fuel through. Nothing's grabbing from a corner. Okay. Yeah, we only have a small dead space. I kind of forgot that the fueling does slightly interfere with our ability to pass extra iron through. We could also use a red belt if I wanted to save that tile, but I don't think I'm that concerned with that tile. Okay, so we need an iron lane, and for this one, they need to be on the top side. Okay, both go on the top. Now that's easy enough to do. We can even do it this way to perfectly split the belt if we want, right? Yeah, that perfectly splits the belt. Awesome. And then this uses an entire lane, so then we need another one. Actually, we're going to use a splitter, so that way I can keep track of how things are connected a little bit easier. And then this one, they also need to be on the top, don't they? Actually, no, this one, coal needs to be on the top here, and iron needs to be on the... Wait. I don't think I connected this right. Did I? No, okay, so iron needs to be on the top on both of them. Is there any way I can flip that? I think it would be worth trying to flip that. Like, what if I go... here? Well, okay, but the whole thing is we need the iron to stop. I guess I could just use a... splitter. Because that does make things a lot easier. It's not as perfect, but it's pretty close if we just do... this. Like, this is pretty close to a perfect split. And then it doesn't matter what side things go on. Normally isn't worth doing, mostly because of space, but also because it runs slightly slower. But because of the red belt and because we don't need all this iron, we can accept the small loss. Yeah, that's fine with me. There we go. And then obviously we can save these entities, but it's not too important right now. Okay, so fuel for this one, I think goes on the inside for this, and for this top one, it goes on the top. That's easy enough. Yeah, okay, we can live with that. Okay, so I think that's a full iron lane. They're not working though, which is concerning. Oh, this is going to the wrong lane first. There we go. This one though is correct, I think. Yeah. Okay. This one needs to. They both need to send to the bottom. Normally they're mirrored, so it's very weird that it's they're both grabbing from the same side for coal. Well, not grabbing from the same side, but like normally it's the inner lane that has outer lane that has the coal or fuel, and then the inner lane has just the iron. So it's a little bit of a mind mess right now, just because it's just slightly different from all the other lanes we built. And then that has an extra belt. Okay, that should be good. Is this really all we need? Oh wait, we haven't done belt yet. Right. No, I'm just gonna go get a rough estimate real quick. How much belt do I need? Because I think it's a lot. We're not... Yeah, we don't need a ton. Let's see. I mean, we do need a ton of belt. I think that's going to be one of our biggest costs. But I don't think it's something I'm not concerned with right now. Okay, so this is estimating too many drills, but that's fine. We'll just say it's, we'll say it's 4,000. That's so much. This is so much more belt compared to like the actual bases for the same amount of production. Burner inserters, they're something. They're definitely something. Also, 350 red splitters. I think that's going to be hard to get. I might redesign this to not use any red belt. Because I'm looking at this. The red belt isn't for entities. It does save entities, but it doesn't save a ton. The splitters are really costly. That's the thing I'm worried about. Because that means we need 1,800 splitters per hour. Which I think is, like, a lot. That is almost an entire iron lane. And an entire half belt of circuits going into splitters. Like, that is incredibly expensive. I did not think those would be that much of a cost. Not great. What else? What else did this have? 1,000 undergrounds. Okay, so that means we need 6,000 of those per hour, which is 3.5 full red chip assemblers. You know what? That's not too bad. That is more manageable. That is 4 lanes of iron, but it's just iron. It means we don't need to get more splitters. And then the red belt itself, I think, is pretty cheap, right? Yeah, the red belt itself is like 1,000. Wait. Yeah, so then 1,000 red belts. So this part's probably gonna seem very cheap after looking at the underground. Yeah, okay. So 1 lane of iron-ish going to those. I'm imagining the belt cost is pretty insignificant, right? After looking at all the other things. Let's see, that's 2,500 belt. Let's call that 12,000 belt per hour. Okay, that's a lot though. 12,000 belt per hour and then 6,000 underground belt per hour. Yeah, 12,000 belt per hour is only two assembling machines. That's actually really easy to get. And the underground's also only 200. So 2 assembling machines for those. That's How many more entities would it be to use only yellow belt? Because I'm looking at the cost, like the cost estimate. The splitters and red belts make up 85% roughly. So yeah, putting it into the calculator, we have 30 furnaces to make all of the yellow belt we need, and 190 furnaces to make the red belt that we need, which is a very, very significant difference between those two. So we would double, let's see, well, these would be increased by, so all the vertical rows would be increased by at least 30%. We'll say 30%. And then we would need a second lane, right? Actually, I don't think we necessarily need a second lane. I'm trying to think, which ones are limited by belt throughput? Also, I can downgrade it. I could downgrade them halfway through. That could help a little bit. So we could probably say that if we decrease these, red belts would go down by, or red undergrounds would go down by 30%. Or red undergrounds would be eliminated, mostly yellow undergrounds would go up by 30%. So entity cost would go up by about 400 from those. That's not too bad. Where's most of the belt being used? Most of it is already yellow belt. So I think most of it is just the stubs. So that's not too concerning. I think, well, this can't be a red belt any. Well, I guess it could be, but it doesn't necessarily need to be one. I don't think this left side benefits from being a red belt. It's really hard to tell. Oh, this is just a fuel lane. Okay. So this is 18. So this would need an extra iron lane. But what I could do is I could take from the fuel lane and split it off. Halfway down, so that way I don't really increase my belt requirement there. That does kind of eliminate some of the work from the stubs, but it's possible. Now the copper lane is the thing I'm concerned with. The copper lane might be tricky. Yeah, okay, so the copper lane already is very tightly packed in there, and it uses more than half a lane of copper. Okay, so we can't really remove the red belt from the copper. That is unfortunate. Unless we had like another whole lane going next to it. Let's just do, you know what would be a good thing to test? Let's just see how many undergrounds it takes to clear this. Worst case scenario. 50 per row, so let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so worst case scenario, we add 300, let's say 300. Worst case scenario, we add 300 undergrounds to reduce our base size by 50%, like 80%. Oh, that's, yeah, okay, so red belt's way more expensive than I thought. And I'm assuming, why did I save that? We haven't done anything. I'm assuming if I look at their base, they don't really use red belts, right? Yeah, not in their actual outpost. They use some to like connect the resources, but their belt requirement is so much lower. Burner inserters are awful. It's hard to overstate how bad they are. Okay. I like the arrow. I'm assuming that's what that means. Yeah, I'm pretty sure those are arrows. I don't know what they're made of. Landfill. Okay. Oh, so that way they don't get placed. That's cool. That's clever. To show which side things come from. I don't like how much iron is going into red belt. That's so much. And I think entity-wise, I mean, I said we're looking at, well, between all of these, we're looking at, I think our number was 12,000 entities per outpost. So we would increase the undergrounds from 1,100, or no, 2,900 total to probably like 4,000. So we'd be adding 1,000 entities. With all of this, you have to be super careful not to run out of coal. What do you mean? I mean, that's not a huge concern. What's the target time? 12 to 16 hours, probably. For, like, the first attempt. I think the base could get lower, but honestly, with how UPS limited you are with burner inserters, you can't get the outposting phase to be below 4. It would be submittable. We are following all the rules. Don't know if I will. If I get not last place, that would be cool. Let's see. I think the slowest time for 100% is like 10 hours, right? A little over 10 hours. So technically, a burner could place top 25 with practice. I think that's viable. I think that's like the lower limit. 10 hours, 17. So my estimate is that with practice, you could probably do that, but not with the first iteration of the base. So yeah, I would be a couple hours behind the record. The last place record, I guess, is not. Maybe record's the wrong word. Is there a benefit to blue belt? Or red belt? Maybe what I should be asking is how much will it delay outposting to get this much up and running? 10 extra. Yeah, no, we're looking at not 10 extra, 10 total. Let's go back to look what we already have. Where is it? There it is. Okay, so with all yellow belt, we're probably looking at 3 to 4 belts of iron going into yellow belt production. With red belt, we're looking at 10. Actually, no, sorry. We're looking at like 2 versus 10 is basically what it boils down to. What is the entity cost of 10 lanes of iron? That's 10 lanes of iron. 2,000 entities. So entity cost wise, it's not terrible to have all this extra iron. I honestly thought it would be a lot larger. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's horribly like that's a lot of resources. I thought it would be more significant though. Of course, that is just a rough estimate. It might be way higher than that. Oh, and then we also need the iron lane. We don't actually have a value for that, do we? How many entities it costs to actually get the ore itself? Let's do that real quick. Needs 1 underground, 1 belt, and let's just use a furnace for now. I think that's it for entity. That's not terrible. Okay, so this, we need 40 of each. Okay, so that's 1/2. Yeah, okay, I think that's the right ratio. Okay, so 1 belt of ore is another 320 entities. So 4,000 entities. Okay, so a lot of it is actually the mining. Because this is roughly, so let's say 500. It's about 50-50. It's not the end of the world. I don't know how easy it is to get 10 lanes of iron though. That might be a lot. It doesn't look like a lot when I have it pasted, but it feels like it is a lot. Also, I haven't compared base sizes in a while. Let's see how this holds up. We'll do it in map view. Actually, can we do it in map view? I'm not sure. Is 7 the final stage? I think 7 is the final stage. Oh, okay. I wasn't actually expecting our base to be comparable in size, but it turns out it is. And this is for like half the production. Just if anyone's wondering, we're looking at the similar size base, slightly larger, but our power plant's a lot smaller than theirs, so it balances out. I'd say we probably have the same size base. However, our base produces half as much, at least, for most things. So production-wise, it's a little bit lacking. I didn't realize our base got so large. Because the last time we did a size comparison is when we had this much of the base running. Okay. So yeah, maybe 10 lanes of iron is viable. Maybe not. We could do a partial reduction, maybe? I don't know. I don't want to have to think about... we'll leave this here, and I'll write it down in my to-do list. Belts... We need to redesign Outpost. We'll probably do that Saturday. Redesign Outpost. That seems like a good... We're going to spend the whole stream on it. Redesign Outposts. Options. 2 lanes or into yellow belt. Or 10 lanes into yellow plus red. 1 to 2k. Fewer entities. There we go. Just like basic notes, so that way I can look at it and be like, oh, yeah. I like how I use the to-do list as like also just, I use the task as a list as just like a note. A note tab, sticky notes. The peak of modern engineering, slower and more features missing. That's unfortunately very accurate. I love being able to do less for more. It's what we've always wanted. It's what all of our hard work has been towards. Okay, am I missing anything though? Let's get the belt production out of the way real quick. Or not belt production, pipe production. So we need probably 2 to 3 assemblers. We'll do 3, I think. Actually, well, depends how much we want them to run. These technically run full speed. Let's do 3. Oh, because we actually need... Oh, right, we need pipes themselves. I said we need about 1,000, right? 1,000 per outpost. Which is like... Yeah, that's not that expensive. It's just like 1 extra assembler. Like 1.5 extra assemblers. Underground pipe might be a little bit trickier, because we also needed like 500 of these per outpost, which that might be expensive. Well, not really expensive. We have extra iron. It's just a little bit more than I expected. So let's do like 5 pipe assemblers. And that is a lot of pipe assemblers, and I wish they were direct fed, but I couldn't really justify direct feeding. Because it's very complicated to do like half smelted and half direct feeding. I guess it's not that complicated, but it didn't seem worth it. I guess I could just like do that. It actually doesn't change the design at all, does it? Maybe that's what we do. Maybe that's what we do. Because if we need this many, we might as well just do them here. Nah, we'll keep the flexibility just in case we change our numbers. Because I think this is one that's very much... this is very flexible to how much I think I need. Everything else I've been calculating based on like a specific science requirement, right? This is a very gut feeling type build, so it needs to be changeable. It's just with gears, I'm like, yeah, we need a lot of gears. Like that's a given. So those I wanted to direct feed. Now, how can we run one of these fully with 2 assemblers? I don't think we can. We need to run it at like half speed. For sure. I think we need to be able to run it at half speed. Which I think we can do. Right now we have 3. We need a second one. Okay, we'll connect the fuel later. I'm just trying to get input balances right now. I'm pretty sure that's a good ratio. We also needed sticks. These are for power poles. That's easy to do. I'm pretty sure we can just make do with one assembler as long as we can run at full speed, which is, I think, a ratio of 1 to 2. Yeah, we're just getting rough ratios right now. Copper is... the more I look at it, the more I realize I don't think this is that worth it. Because this is really far away. I'm pointing at my screen right now. There we go. This over here is really far away from where the mall will be, which is down here. So either way, something is going to have to travel far unless we just produce copper over here. But I can't really justify that because I think we've already mined all the copper we need on this side. So like the reason I have it over here is because that's 4 lanes of copper that we added at once. Very easy to balance. It's easy to get 4 lanes of copper at a time. Whereas this, if we added over here, I think we would need to do an entire other ore patch. I don't know, I might have to just recalculate things. But how far is it really? 50. Okay, that's not too bad. It's a couple minutes of lead time, but that's manageable. We'll be producing other things until then. Okay, and then I said I needed... Hold on. Yeah, God, I muted in time. We really had to sneeze. Oh, we need bricks. We need bricks. We have bricks, but are they close? No. I don't really want to have to get this over to here. So let's see. Are we producing bricks anywhere else? Okay, we do have bricks produced down here. So here's what I'm thinking. We just have one belt that's going all the way up that just slowly produces throughout that just is there throughout the entire run and isn't used for like 10-20 stages. And that's it. So that way we only have to make one stone connection on the right side, and then it will be the same stone connection here for the bricks. Because we only need like 2 furnaces worth of bricks. We really don't need a ton. What are our other options? Because I know that they're taking it from here is also just one long belt. I'm just thinking if it's on the edge, it's very easy to route. If it's through the base, that's a lot more complicated. I guess I could check real quick. How much does this need? That needs 10 walls per second. That is... Sorry, 2 walls per second. That's 10 bricks per second. How much does this produce? This probably produces, based on this weird shape, I think I could safely say this produces exactly 10 per second. Actually, what is this? No, this would be 15, because this is a double lane. Okay. Wait, maybe we're fine. Yeah, maybe we're... I think we're okay. 15. Okay, so we do actually have extra. Oh, I hate that we have extra. That means it's almost usable. I don't like that. Okay. We might take bricks from here, because it's really hard to justify an entire brick smelter for, like, refineries. We'll add that to the task list. Get bricks through the base. It's too messy. I can't deal with that right now. But we're good on steel. Steel is here. Normal base have 4 red and 1 yellow. Really? I guess a lot of that is because of how many furnaces they need, right? 4 red and 1 yellow belt of stone. Wait, is that for bricks or just the stone? How much do we have in terms of stone? One red belt. I think we have 2 red belts of stone right now. So yeah, it makes sense that we're almost a third lower than them. Like 40% of the amount. Okay, that tracks. I am making the assumption that we have enough steel furnaces, because I think we do. Because I think we're overproducing for the whole run. We might need to account for some extra here, but I don't think we need a ton. We'll probably plan for more, because that's easy enough to increase. If we do need more steel furnaces, that does solve our brick problem. You know, I need to do math for that. Get bricks to the base, or make more for furnaces. 5/9 of it is used for science. Wait, really? Really? Oh, they produce more science than me for everything but space science. Yeah, that makes sense. I was like trying to think. I didn't use that much stone. Oh, wait. Yeah, I have another. Oh, wait, never mind. I have another entire like red belt up here worth of regular stone. But yeah, we're producing about like 70 to 80% of the science for purple science and military. I think we have about 70%. For space science, we have double, and that's just because we need to launch a couple rockets a little bit faster. Just for mining productivity. But after that, our science production is way lower. Way, way lower. Okay, refinery. There's no way refineries are not going to be inserter limited. Right? Electric. Okay, so 10, 10, 10, 10, and 15. If we can double up steel, that would be great. They need roughly. Hmm. How much is that? How much is that? Let's see. It's 8 seconds crafting time, so it's divided by 0.75, right? That's 11. So it's a little bit over 1 per second. So yeah, it's about one assembler, one inserter. So I think everything is exactly one assembler, and we can run at full speed. So we need 2 of them, and we need 5 input inserters, which is a little bit annoying. We can do 4. Well, I guess if we do 2 of them, we can afford them. We can afford for them to run slightly slower, right? Like if we share. And then this works very easily. Okay, yeah, that might be fine. Maybe some is used for construction off rail and late game. Some furnaces are transported by bots to big train, as they tend to be limiting net factor for outposts. What did they transfer? Oh, from purple science, right? Yeah, because you can just Because that's probably like almost a furnace per second going into science. Yeah, I could see how they might want to reroute those. Yeah, that's a lot. Okay, yeah, that works. So we would need pipes, steel, bricks. Okay, so steel, we'll just say, comes from somewhere. We could put steel and gear on the same belt, I guess. So steel and gears, pipes, and electronic circuits, I guess. No, probably bricks. Maybe bricks and electronic circuits. It depends where we get the bricks. Because these are probably coming from the same side. Then something can be standalone. So that's 2 inputs. This is another 2. And then I guess a dedicated resource from the side. This would be alright. I don't think we have an output. Wait, we don't have an output this way, do we? No, we can't input from the side and also have an output from the side. Unless we use a splitter. Okay, that's actually fine. Okay, so something like this I think is a decent enough design, and then I guess we flip it. Yeah, okay, I think we can make that work. Coal grid, it was probably gonna go up, and then down, and then back up, and then back down. Okay, so this is decent. We could also, if I wanted them to run a little bit slower, well, not want to. If I'm okay with them running a little bit slower, we can also share inserters, but this should be fine. This gives me a higher max throughput. Okay, so one of those, and then I think same thing for chemical plants. They're going to be inserter limited. Barely. Okay, I'm thinking brick should actually be... Brick should probably be the one that's on their own. Because I'm looking at this, and just being able to extend this straight through is very nice. You're really not sure as they now build even outposts just to produce furnaces? Dang. Yeah, I guess as the time gets lower, they just have to have like a massive amount of outpost production. The payoff time, it just gets narrower and narrower too. I I was gonna say I'm glad I can keep things simple and not have a complicated base to design as I sit here building a burner base, which is very much still complicated. Just in a different one. Hole in coal belt? Is there? Oh wait, this doesn't have an output though. Not what you're referring to, but this is missing an output. That's fine. I don't love it, but it's fine. Wait, that's staggered. Never mind, that's not fine. Yeah, I'll have to check the hole. I have to fix this first, and then I'll check for the coal belt. The coal hole. There we go. This is all right. Considering we have possibly like 10 smelting lanes, which gives us this much space to work with, I don't think saving a tile is something you need to stress about, is it? So yeah, I definitely shouldn't complicate it. Ooh, would it be easier to just... Should I go back to a coal grid? I'm tempted to go back to a coal grid so I can change things as needed very easily. Because the coal grid is nice for that. It means you can add or remove things without having to worry about how things look. Nah, we don't need a coal grid. We probably need a coal grid. Nah, we'll be fine. Okay, so coal goes up, down. Ah, that's what you're referring to. I see. Oh wait, no, I just added that. Yeah, it's fine. Down. It wraps around and goes back up. Okay, so that seems fine. This is for bricks. This is for bricks. I don't like this at all. You know what? No, we're not gonna make this. We're not gonna make this complicated. We're doing a grid. For anything mall related, grid is just so much more straightforward. So much easier to fix problems on. And then I guess we can just we'll just accept that this runs at, well, as long as we have steel up top, we can accept that this runs at probably like 80% speed. It's gonna be pretty close to full speed. And that since we have two of them, we should have more than enough refinery production. But to make this work, we do need a splitter like this. And then I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say we probably don't need sushi. It's almost never worth it, as in it's never been worth it. At least not with burner inserters. Okay, so the only thing we need to be aware of is steel should go up top. I'm gonna add a note for that using a combinator. Actually, we could also use loaders. Those would be good as well. There you go. The only reason steel needs to be up top, that's the one that's higher, 15 to 10 ratio. So having double inserters on the thing that has higher will help. Will help it balance a little bit more. Because if we put it down there, we'll be even more limited, like 20% slower production. So might as well not risk it. Okay, we are going to have to output like so. That's easy enough though. So coal grid here, here, here. Okay. Oh, we might do a coal snake, but I want to keep the patterns. That way it's easy to work with. Okay, and this should be more than enough chem plants. This is like 400 chem plants an hour, which is a lot. Worst case scenario, I can copy and paste this and double it as well. Because I might increase my fuel production. Because right now our outposts take like half an hour to start. We probably need more. We probably need more of these. And now We don't need that many pump jacks though. That part's nice. So this part's simple. We need like two, I think like one pump jack for every like 20 of these or something. Yeah, this is totally fine. So yeah, right now with the amount of chem plants we have, it works. It takes 15 to 30 minutes to start, which is insanely high. I could add speed modules instead of efficiency modules. That would increase my power requirement by like 2 power plants, but it would make them start a lot faster without any additional cost other than the power. Because right now we're comparing efficiency modules versus speeds. So we would be looking at probably a 3 to 4 power plant difference. Actually, that's pretty big. Okay, so assembly machine production isn't actually as hard as I thought it would be. Now, we can't really use this line at all. If we put steel and circuits on this belt, we can maybe repurpose it. Now, direct feeding... No, we shouldn't bother direct feeding. Wouldn't be that beneficial, would it? Because we need regular assembly machines anyway. Now, we can direct feed the gray into the blue. That might be worth it. We are going to be incredibly inserter limited. I think because its inserters are so cheap and this isn't that large of a build, we make things simpler, and we direct feed where we can. That spacing doesn't work for some reason. Oh, there we go. So if we do a gray directly into a blue, I guess what it boils down to is how's the ratio. This is going to be limited by, well, this is 100. This is going to be 5. Okay, so we'll say it has a ratio of, we'll say it's worth 5. This needs 10. No, 8. We'll say this needs 8. So this needs 40% more inserters to work full speed than this one does. Yeah, that means they are going to be inserter limited if we direct feed. That ratio is not awful though. Yeah, I don't think that ratio is too bad. Because it does copy very well, which is nice. I think we'll need a splitter here to get an output, but that's manageable. Okay, so this is going to be inserter limited, right? This has 4 inserters and needs 10. So 4 times 1.8, 7.2. Yeah, this is inserter limited by a factor of like 30. This is working at like 1/3 speed, I think. Because this wants about 15 per second. Yeah. Okay. Pretty much like we're in the 40 to 50% production speed range, which means this is going to be working at like a 1/4 speed, which is very, very not great. Because we need one of these to run pretty much full speed. And right now we can run it at half speed times another half. So we could say it's 1/4 speed. So we need like 3 of these at least. That's actually not. That's not as bad as as I felt it would be. Hold on. Hello. Wait, what time is it? I probably have to wrap up soon anyway. Honestly, I'm happy with this mall so far. This looks a lot cleaner than I expected it would be. Wire burner inserter is so bad? That's the question I ask myself every single day. But if we do a gear and circuit belt, or a steel and circuit belt, and then Oh, this isn't gonna... That's not gonna have a good ratio. Either any ratio we do is going to incredibly limit the iron. Okay, I don't think we can share the steel belt here. Unless we maybe have gears on both. I guess we could do iron and gears up top and then circuits and iron on the bottom. Well, that's not doubling it. That's not doubling it. Basically, we need iron and gears to have a perfect split. We can't have iron or to be on different belts. We can't have iron and gears on the same belt, which is what it's looking like right now. And doubling the width is definitely going to be doubling, and not even doubling the height. Adding one tile to the height is definitely going to be better than doubling the width. So yeah, we'll need a splitter. That's fine. Because we need gears and circuits, and then we can have steel and iron. That would be a good split. Let's actually like set them up. Make sure we're actually checking it right or estimated it right. And then this one I said would be circuits and gears, which do technically come from other sides, but that's fine. I think at the end of the day, coming from other sides is it's not gonna make or break anything. There we go, and then we'll just copy this up. Okay, that's a much better split. We'll just we won't make them undergrounds right now. We'll keep things simple. Okay, so now these hopefully produce fast enough. How do I test this? I think we just give them all nuclear fuel for now, and we'll keep exactly 5 nuclear fuels. That way we can do this. We can just fuel them all with nuclear fuel. Make sure they actually run. Get an actual number. Actually, let's put them in a chest for that. Okay, and then they also need power, right? Yeah. Which our inventory is very clear. We'll just remove everything real quick, and then we'll realize we have nothing saved. Just like I wanted. Okay, so if we give it a rate calculator, I'm assuming it's going to be incredibly low, right? Actually, this is less limiting than I was expecting, to be honest. Yeah, way less limiting than I was expecting, to the point where we actually have to add supplemental gears onto the side. Unexpected. Don't know why. They're always gear limited, but I mean, I was thinking we would just be so iron limited that it wouldn't matter. Or so gear limited that it wouldn't matter. Okay, so how do I calculate this? I think empirically is our best bet, right? Yeah, that's my guess. We just run it and we count. That's probably, yeah, that's definitely our best bet. Okay, we will clear it. We'll pause it and we'll run it for exactly, let's see, 3,600 tick. Let's do, okay, that's this is 1 minute. 1 minute should be fine. That should give us a pretty good estimate. Just to check, in case I pressed the wrong one, it was about at 8:20. Okay, we can't, we still have to run it for like literally 15 seconds IRL, but that's fine. But yeah, once these are set up, that's pretty good. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that gave us 65 over the course of 1 minute. So that's 1 per second. That's all right. That's, I think, about how many we need, right? So I think we needed half that. Okay, so we're good. 1 per second. This is a-okay. Wait, is it? That's 1 per second. Half of them are going to yellow symbols. The other half are placed. Okay, yeah, that's perfect. That is perfect. Okay. Yellow assemblers, I don't think are going to have any issue with anything, right? We need like 700 per hour, and they're not going to be insert limited. Okay, so that's those are very easy to do. For now, I'm just gonna put the assembly machine down so I know what I'm know what I'm working on. But yeah, we'll just say speed modules are on this belt. We'll put one assembler here. We'll give it 2 inserters, and it should be totally fine. That one will barely work. And there we go. This produces all the yellow assemblers we need till the end of time, I think, probably, based on my estimates, unless we increase our goal. Which version 2 we might. I think for 10 hours, this goal is too low. But fortunately, we're not aiming for that this time, so that makes things simpler. Lower your goals. It's very, very good life advice, really. Or lower your expectations. Applies to a lot of things. Maybe a slightly cynical, but you do what you gotta. Okay, we're gonna switch this to pipe real quick. There we go, and then stone can come from here, because I want to make sure all of them are working, because I really did not double check that. But that's because this is like a fairly straightforward build. There's not that much you can do to mess it up too badly. You can still mess it up, it's just usually not gonna make or break anything. You mess it up. Okay, so we need fueling there. Because of the provider chest, this is actually a little bit annoying, but that's fine. They can stay there. Okay, they seem to be working really well. This is missing the double input. That means this one is too. This is working a lot better than I thought it was. I was not expecting this to run full speed. I guess it's not quite running full speed. Actually, no, it is. What? Oh, I ended up placing more inserters than I thought I did, I think. Actually, no. This is 20 over the course of 11 seconds, right? Yeah, no. Okay, so yeah, it's very close. It's like just a little bit under max speed. That makes sense. Because it's like 1.8 over like 1.9 is the rate it's producing at. These ones seem to be good. Okay. That seems good. Okay, we'll definitely have logic on those to regulate how many are produced. Or we'll change the balance. That should be fine. But these are the main things. These are the main things we need. In terms of like building costs, which is a lot more than I expected. But yeah, we can balance it out next time. I think that's pretty good though. I really thought we would need more assemblers. Like I thought we were going to be incredibly inserter limited for all of these, but it turns out we're only slightly inserter limited, ever so slightly inserter limited. But that's it for me today. No stream tomorrow. No Friday streams for a bit. So I will be back. Wait, was I starting to drop frames again? I didn't notice that one. They OBS had an update and it changed where the drop frame indicator was. I need to see if I can switch it back to the original location. Because it used to be like in a really good spot where I could see it out of the corner of my eye. Now it's like way farther to the left. So I can't tell if my internet's acting up as immediately. So I really need to figure that out. But yeah, that's it for me today. I'll be back Saturday. We'll finish up the Outpost building. And we need to redesign the Outpost. Like I need to finalize the Outpost for once. So we can actually get numbers. Because these are pretty decent estimates. But varying by plus or minus 30 to 40% is pretty significant. That's like 2 to 3 extra iron lanes. So I need to actually narrow that down. But we're really close to finishing the build. Honestly, if we hadn't had to miss Fridays and a lot of other streams due to appointments for the past couple months, we definitely would have made the April Fool's goal. Because we're pretty close to the end. But I hope you all have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.